you a live look in New York City, where demonstrators are gathering to celebrate the killing of Iran's supreme leader. Take a look at your screens right now. This is unfolding live. This as President Trump saying just moments ago, saying the U.S. has destroyed and sunk 9 Iranian naval ships. This news comes as we're learning that 3 service members have been killed and 5 seriously wounded in the Iran operation. With us now to discuss, Paul Miller, opinion contributor for The Hill and defense technology strategist and investor. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. What a weekend we have had here as we follow this fluid situation with the breaking news. I want to get your take on what we've seen so far as we move and we crest through into the afternoon on Sunday afternoon after yesterday's operation and what we're seeing unfold today. Your take on that and reaction to the development that 3 U.S. service members have been killed and 5 other injured.
Thanks for having me. I think first and foremost, I'd like to express my condolences to those who were killed and to their surviving family members. It's a terrible tragedy. I don't think we should lose sight of the fact that we do have Americans in harm's way right now, both those who are conducting the operations and those who are simply based around the world who may be vulnerable to some sort of attack. And my heart goes out to them. What we've seen with those casualties, though, is that the number, excuse me, is substantially lower than most estimates would have had even weeks ago when we were talking about having some sort of kinetic action against Iran as a theoretical threat, which has now developed into an actual shooting situation. And that's a testament to the professionalism of the U.S. military. They clearly have been able to penetrate in broad daylight and carry out the attacks that they wished, and have been able to severely damage the Iranian military infrastructure, its ability to respond, and have killed a number of its senior leaders. The question that I think most of us have on mind is, while it's going well now, and we've defined this nebulous end state of regime change, what specifically is a regime that this administration would be acceptable or would be acceptable to this administration and would lead to the ending of hostilities?
Yeah, and then you've got Iran's foreign minister asking for understanding from his Persian Gulf nations amid Iran's retaliation. And, you know, when we take a look at the short-term, long-term consequences for the stability in the region of the Middle East, you know, many people are trying to kind of game this out and figure out what that exactly looks like. How do you see it?
I see it exactly as you just outlined. You've got an interesting dynamic. First, Iran is leading forward and saying, please understand, when we launch missiles and they land in your territory or they kill your citizens, that we are defending ourselves. What you've seen in response is a hardening against Iran, which I think is probably a surprise to the Iranian leadership that remains, even to the point where Hezbollah issued a statement saying, while it stands with Iran, it's not willing to take any action in light of what it viewed and described itself, and was reported in Al Jazeera, as limited U.S. military strikes. So I think Iran is waking up to a number of issues right now. First of all, chaos. It's got a lot of command and control issues. A number of its senior leaders are dead. A number of its pieces of equipment, including the 9 naval assets, have been destroyed, and they have been unable to launch a really effective strategy against us. And why I say strategy is it means both with attacks, but also in the public sphere. You know, the media has accurately reported that right now, a lot of the Arab and Persian nations are angry because they've been attacked. They have stayed out of it, and yet they still have missiles landing and killing their citizens. So Iran's got a really tough road ahead. We have an equally tough road. We have to define what it is that we believe is an acceptable end state and the type of leadership that we would work with to lead to long-term stability.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.